Okay, let's talk about expectations. There's this quote that I read this morning. Don't focus on me, focus on the phone. Probably minimum focus distance is too far. Probably can't read that. We cease to be so angry once we cease to be so hopeful. That is a Seneca quote. We cease to be so angry once we cease to be so hopeful. I'm angry sometimes, and that's been especially true recently. Even this morning, I hit a back squat that it moved really nicely, and it's a PR for a triple with the amount of chains that I had on. And it moved really, really well, but I was still, I don't know if I would say angry. It was close though, because I had watched some elite powerlifters recently, and I'm literally hundreds of pounds away from where they're lifting. And there are a lot of differences between me and them. But I'll never close that gap, and I don't intend to. That's not the point. It's not why I lift. If I am hopeful that I'll be able to lift in the top 1%, I will forever be disappointed. Not only because I probably don't have the tools, the genetic tools, the limb lengths, all the things that you need, the leverages and geometry to be able to lift like the top 1% lifts. Like, aside from that, I'm not willing to dedicate the resource necessary to get to that level. And time, energy, attention, and money. I'm not willing to reallocate those resources to line up with that goal. And that's a decision, that's a deliberate decision. It's very intentional. So why be disappointed when you don't perform that way? So this appeals or applies much more broadly than just lifting. Way more broadly than just lifting. You could be hopeful about your financial performance. You could be hopeful about your health. You could be hopeful about your relationships. And hope is a really weird word. I don't particularly like the word hope. Probably just because of the connotation. The connotation, at least to me, is passive. Hope is like a passive wishing. It's, I hope it doesn't rain today. A hope implies that you have little to no control over the outcome. At least that's how I see it. Maybe that's not how other people see the word hope, but that's how I see the word hope. And I would prefer to bring some intention, some action, some real purpose and mission to replace the word hope. So if we go back to the quote, we cease to be so angry once we cease to be so hopeful. I think that the anger comes from the dissonance, right? Between what we hope for and what the reality is. That is what makes us frustrated. That's where a lot of the dissatisfaction comes from. And so I am the first to point toward ambition and achievement and competence and pushing forward, striving for more. But at the same time, that goalpost can't be so far away that it's never, ever going to be touched. It has to be close enough to push us, but not so close that we can achieve it in a day, depending on what we're talking about. So, I keep pulling this up because I just reread it over and over and over again. We cease to be so angry once we cease to be so hopeful. This could be taken completely the wrong way, where you say, if you have no hope and you have no ambition, then it's impossible to be mad, angry, dissatisfied. I think there's a real healthy dissatisfaction that we should always have between where we are and where we want to go. We should be proud of what we've been able to achieve, but we shouldn't be content and stay there forever. Even if we're in the realm of really high achievement, the striving is what really makes the difference. So anyway, quote of the day that I've been thinking about. I'm not going to ever bench press like Julius Maddox, and that is okay. We cease to be so angry once we cease to be so hopeful. Peace.